Today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2016, and the title of this rant will be Two Big Losers, Hillary, a Nerd, and Marco, a Turd. Now, let's just go to Marco first. Obviously, his comments in the debate on Saturday night cost him possibly a second, definitely a third. He was a low-life fourth, or was he a fifth? I don't know. Yeah, he was a fifth. So he's taken it. He's done. He's over. He's finished. Kapute. Time to get out of there. Now, he doesn't know it. His staff doesn't know it. But the money interests know it. So don't see any money going to Marco anytime soon, except for those small individual donors. Let's see how much longer he can go on. Maybe South Carolina, Nevada. I'm not really sure. But let's bring in just one big thing about Rubio. He never had anything anyway. He was just a slick, glib, let's say handsome guy, who wanted to be president, that had a tremendous amount of oomph in his step, so to speak, that he was the man. But what we have found out, what was pointed out in the last couple of weeks, is that, behind that big facade, he's got anxiety attacks. He can't handle the pressure. He can't even handle the criticism. That, and this is, a big thing is, when you're in politics, you got to have thick skin. It's got to roll off. I mean, look at Hillary. I'll get to her in a second, but it rolls right off of her. She takes crap right and left. But Rubio, all the word was in the last couple of weeks is, all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, he's an emotional wreck because of it. He can't deal with it. There's a big issue, and that is, I need to be president. And he's worried about all these little things where people criticized him. But he's done. He's over. He doesn't know it. He's one of the walking dead. And if we take, and of course Christie's probably done too. So if you take Christie's vote, Fiorina's vote, Carson's vote, that's about 14%. You add Rubio's vote, that would make it about 25%, approximately 25% of the vote. That could then go to Trump, Kasich, Cruz, and Bush. Four-way race. Looks like all of them are going to stay, and finally, maybe someone will be coming up and they'll start, and more people will show an interest in those other two, meaning Kasich and Bush as the corporatists, candidates of the Republican Party. Now that the big corporatists that they thought they had, Rubio is gone. Now let's get to Hillary. Hillary took it bad. And I do feel for her. She wants to be president. She is a nerd. She gets down in the minutia. I just want to make one quick comment. I've been reading up a lot. A lot of the Bernie fans are pretty rough on the Hillary fans. And Bernie has sort of set a little bit of this stage when he talks about, well, if you've taken any corporate money, you're in the tank for all corporate interests. And that referred to the money that Hillary had taken from the banks. And looking back at what Hillary had done in 1999 and 2001 and 2005 on the banking bills, she was working hard behind the scenes, holding her vote up so that if there was a bankruptcy declared, let's say by a man, that child support and alimony payments would go first before the credit card companies would get that money. So she was holding out, and she was working diligently behind the scenes to get this type of thing. And but we're hearing a lot of vitriol from the Bernie people that she's in the tank for Goldman Sachs, she's in the tank for Citi, Bank of America, all this other kind of crap. And no, she was working to help the little person in these big issues, and she did not win because the Republicans had the vote on that. But so she's working for the little person, and in Congress, you got to make compromises. She was holding her vote out as long as she could to try and get this for the little people. So she's a nerd. She's got her stuff. She's been very wrongly criticized for that bank stuff. And Bernie has the momentum big time. And the thing is, can he take that momentum to South Carolina and to Nevada? Now, remember, that Iowa is like 90-something% white. New Hampshire, 80-something% white. That's not going to be the case in South Carolina, where more than 50% of the Democratic vote will be black. And I don't know what it is in Nevada, but a very large percentage of that will be Hispanic. Where will the Black Lives Matter movement be turning their attention to in terms of this primary? What about the Reverend Barber down in North Carolina? Will he have any influence on the vote or the outreach that will be done in South Carolina for that? Can Hillary be the comeback kid in South Carolina? Now, as I said, Bernie has gotten all the white vote. He's got a lot of enthusiasm. Where does the black vote going to come in? Where's the Hispanic vote going to come in? Where is Bernie going to be as we get into this area where the population is not going to be predominantly white? Because that has been his basic following. And can Hillary make that comeback? Like I said, she's a nerd, so sometimes she doesn't come off quite as good as maybe she should. And Bernie is pretty headstrong on his thing. But remember, he's going into a different area. He didn't look well when the Black Lives Matter people got up there on stage with him. Hillary has been working on women's issues. She has been working on Hispanic issues. She's been working on early childhood education issues. She has been working on black issues for a long, long time. Can't necessarily say that Bernie hasn't been working on them, but his contribution probably is not nearly as much as Hillary's is. And of course, both of them are going to be in for the long haul. And this is going to be a real marathon. There are more debates to come. And so we will see what happens. My hunch is that Hillary will make a comeback. And then the real fun begins.